Hello, beautiful souls. The universe works in mysterious ways. It isn't always loud or dramatic in its involvement in your life. Instead, it often whispers through the actions of others. When you're standing at the edge of your endurance, feeling overwhelmed or lost, it has a strange and subtle way of sending people your way. These people don't just wander into your life by accident. There is a deeper force at play guiding these encounters to remind you that you are never truly alone in your struggle. When you desperately need help, it isn't always a direct answer to your problems that arise. Sometimes it is a person, and the way the universe brings them to you can be nothing short of a miracle. At first it may seem coincidental. You might pass a stranger in the street, meet someone at a party, or reconnect with an old friend. You might brush it off as random, but if you look closer you'll realize that these encounters are anything but random. There's a purpose behind it all, something greater at work, ensuring that exactly the right kind of person enters your life just when you need them most. Whether it's someone to guide you, mentor you, challenge you, or simply offer a listening ear, the universe knows what you require before you do, and so it delivers in ways that are profound yet unassuming. Sometimes the person who enters your life when you're at your lowest isn't someone you would immediately recognize as important. They may come to you as a guide, someone you meet in a seemingly mundane situation. It might be during an ordinary day that you have a conversation that forever shifts your perception. Perhaps it's a neighbor who shares a casual piece of advice, or a passing acquaintance who tells you a story that resonates with a question that's been heavy on your heart. They won't always be aware of the role they play in your life, but what they give you is something you will carry forward. The universe sends them to open a door within you, to spark a realization that can guide you through your current struggle. There are also mentors, individuals who have walked the path you now tread. They've endured similar hardships, go through the dark valleys you now face, and found their way to the other side. These people arrive to save you precious time and suffering. They share their wisdom not because they have all the answers, but because they've experienced the trials that you are trying to overcome. They remind you that you don't have to suffer alone, and that your experiences, though painful, are part of a larger narrative. In sharing their story, they help you reclaim hope and give you a map to follow. When everything feels chaotic and uncertain, the universe places them in your life as proof that survival is possible, and success, in whatever form you seek, is not out of reach. But sometimes the universe doesn't send someone who is there to teach you. Instead, it sends a kindred soul, a castaway much like yourself. These are the people who have endured their own battles, and their presence in your life feels like the comfort of an old friend. Even if you've just met, there's an unspoken connection between you, an understanding that needs no words. It's as if your souls have been wandering through the same storm, and when you finally meet, it's not the answers you seek from each other, but the simple reassurance that you're not the only one going through it. In them you find companionship in the wilderness, a reminder that the universe has a way of bringing people together, not to solve their problems, but to walk alongside them as they figure it out together. Sometimes, though, the universe takes a different approach. Instead of quiet guidance or shared experiences, it sends someone like a whirlwind, a guardian angel of sorts. These individuals don't tiptoe into your life, they burst in with urgency and energy, moving you out of harm's way before you even realize you're in danger. They may not stick around for long, but their impact is undeniable. They are the kind of people who see through the chaos and know exactly what needs to be done, even if you're too overwhelmed to think clearly. Without even realizing it, they pull you out of the fire just in time, giving you the space to breathe and reassess. The universe sends them when you're too lost to ask for help, when you're paralyzed by fear or uncertainty, and they act without question. They show up to protect you, even if only for a brief moment. And then there are the broken souls. It might seem counterintuitive, but sometimes the universe knows that what you need most is to help someone else. It sends you someone who is even more lost, someone whose pain reflects your own, but in helping them you start to heal yourself. At first you may resist. After all, how can you possibly take on someone else's struggles when you can barely manage your own, but as you invest your energy in helping another, you discover something beautiful, you find purpose, you realize that your own suffering has equipped you with the empathy and strength needed to lift another person up, and in doing so you begin to lift yourself as well. The universe knows that healing isn't always about receiving, sometimes it's about giving. Not every person the universe sends will feel like a gentle guiding hand or a warm embrace, though sometimes you meet gatekeepers, individuals who stand between you and the opportunity you've been searching for. They can appear when you are on the verge of giving up, placing you in contact with the right person at the last possible moment. Suddenly a chance encounter or a long-awaited connection opens a door that was once firmly closed. It's as if the universe was waiting for you to reach your breaking point before revealing the path forward, testing your persistence before rewarding your faith. These people arrive like unexpected keys to doors you never thought would open, reminding you that perseverance is often rewarded in the most unexpected ways. The universe also knows when you're carrying too much. It understands that you are only human and that there comes a time when you cannot do everything on your own. That's when team players arrive, people who step in to share the burden. They aren't here to take over or to outshine you. Instead, they offer their skills and support in the areas where you are struggling, whether it's a project you've been laboring over or an emotional weight that feels too heavy to bear. They are here to help lighten the load. The universe sends them when it knows you are ready to accept help, even if you're reluctant to admit it. They remind you that life is not meant to be a solitary journey, that collaboration is not a sign of weakness but of wisdom. And finally, perhaps most unexpectedly, the universe sends you enemies. These aren't the kind of enemies who wish to destroy you, but rather those who challenge you in ways that force you to grow. They provoke you, irritate you, and make you question yourself, but in doing so they sharpen your edges and clarify your identity. These adversaries push you out of complacency and make you face the parts of yourself that you'd rather avoid. They are uncomfortable to deal with, but without them you wouldn't have the same drive to improve or the same clarity of purpose. In many ways they are some of the greatest gifts the universe can send, because they force you to confront your own truth. In the end, the universe does not leave you stranded. It surrounds you with the people you need, whether you recognize them at first or not. Some will be guides, others mentors, some companions, and others enemies, but each person is there to serve a purpose, whether to help you rise, reflect, or endure. The beauty of it all is that you often only realize the significance of these people once you've emerged from your trial, once you've walked through the fire and come out the other side. It is then that you look back and see the connecting dots into your life and the help that arrived just when you needed it most. I hope you enjoyed watching my video. If you're still with me, please leave a comment on what you learned or what you would like to add. I would appreciate it. As always, wishing you a beautiful